Thank you. Next, at public hearing on ordinance 25-525, ordinance revised in section 8-213 of title and alcohol beverage, chapter 2 bill. You want to read that, Chris?
Whereas the City of Churchill Board of Mayor and Aldermen wish to change restrictions relating to the issuance of permits for the sale of beer. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Churchill, Tennessee. The above Title 8, Chapter 2, Section 8-213 will be deleted and replaced with the following language. That's the new 8-213, interference with public health, safety, and morals prohibited. No permit authorizing the sale of beer will be issued when such business would cause congestion of traffic or would interfere with schools, churches, or other places of public gathering, or would otherwise interfere with the public health, safety, and morals. In no event will a permit be issued authorizing the manufacture or storage of beer or the sale of beer within 400 feet of any school, church, or other place of public gathering. The distances shall be measured in a straight line from the nearest point on the building in which the business is located and from which the beer will be manufactured, stored, or sold to the nearest point on the building of the school, church, or other place of public gathering. No permit shall be suspended, revoked, or denied on the basis of proximity of the establishment to a school, church, or other place of public gathering if a valid permit had been issued to any business on that same location, unless beer is not sold, distributed, or manufactured at that location during any continuous 6-month period. And the previous ordinance was 07-425, September 2007, and 25-525, that's this one, which is slated to be adopted in March of this year. Whereas the ordinance shall take effect on its passage, the public welfare requiring it. First reading was February 18th, 2005, and this is the second reading.
I declare public hearing on ordinance 25-525 open. Anybody here wants to comment? If not, I declare it closed. And next we have second reading ordinance 2025.
You need to vote. You need to vote on it. You need to vote on that ordinance.
Make a motion we adopt.
Yeah, I know we got to vote, but I just closed the public hearing. Now we vote on the ordinance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second reading on ordinance 25-525, ordinance revising section 8-213 of title and alcohol beverages, chapter 2 beer. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Call the roll, Vicky.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Kim Luster's not here, but Tipton,
Yes.
Michael Walker,
Yes.
Dennis Steele.
No. Next, we have public hearing on ordinance 5-526, ordinance adding a cybersecurity plan to the city of Churchill, Tennessee. Chris, you have that?
Yes. I move we waive the reading.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
I'll second that motion. Do we need to vote on that?
You need to vote on the waiver. Yes, sir.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Buck Tipton,
Yes.
Michael Walker,
Yes.
Dennis Steele.
Next, that's, we got a public hearing. I declare a public hearing open on orders 25-526. Anybody want to discuss anything? Chad?
I'm good, sir.
Okay. Anybody? I declare public hearing closed. Next, we have reading of orders 25-526, ordinance adding cybersecurity plan to the city of Churchill, Tennessee, and we waive the reading.
Need a motion to pass.
We have a motion to pass it. This is something we have to have in place. We have a motion, have a second. Discussion. Vicky?
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Buck Tipton,
Yes.
Michael Walker,
Yes.
Dennis Steele.
Aye. Next, we have, under new business, first reading ordinance 25-527, ordinance revising personnel policy section 7, code 2 of chapter 7, leave time. Chris?
Whereas the City of Churchill Board of Mayor and Aldermen wish to change the verbiage to vacation time accumulation. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Churchill, Tennessee, Section 7.02 of Chapter 7 of the Personnel Policy will be deleted and replaced with the following language. 7.02 Vacation leave. All regular full-time employees of the city are entitled to vacation leave. Vacation leave will accrue during the first year of employment at 1.54 hours each pay period. The first year of accrual shall be available for carryover into the second year and to be used by the 24th month of employment, which is the employee's second anniversary date of hire. After completion of the first year, vacation leave shall be granted annually based on years of service and upon their anniversary date of hire. The employee shall move to the next category and subsequent categories in the vacation leave schedule below. On the first anniversary date of hire, 40 hours will be applied to vacation time. On the 2-year anniversary date of hire,
80 hours.
Let me reread the first one. On the 1-year anniversary date of hire, 40 hours will be applied to vacation time. On the 2-year anniversary date of hire, 80 hours will be applied to vacation time. On the 5-year anniversary date of hire, 120 hours will be added to vacation time. On the 10-year anniversary date of hire, 160 hours will be applied to vacation time. Beyond the 2nd year anniversary, vacation leave must be taken annually and cannot be accumulated from year to year unless an emergency arises and said employee is required to work during scheduled vacation periods, in which event said vacation may be carried over to the next year, but no further. The mayor must approve any vacation time that is carried over to the following year after the 2nd year. Vacation leave must be approved by the mayor or his designee. Vacation leave must accommodate the city's work schedule. Whereas this ordinance shall take effect on its passage, the public welfare requiring it.
What's the pleasure of the board on ordinance 25-527? We have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
For a second.
I'll second.
Discussion.
I got with Kimberly earlier this week on that, but just for the clarity, the years 3 and 4 also get that 80 years at the beginning of years 3 and the beginning of years 4. So that's technically, I guess, years 2, 3, and 4 there on that. Is that, am I saying that correctly, Kimberly?
Yes.
Any more discussion?
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Bud Tipton,
Yes.
Michael Walker,
Yes.
Dennis Steele.
Aye. Is this resolution 25-592, is that what I looked at today?
Yes, yesterday. Yes,
These are the hours
yes,
where they don't lose them?
yes.
Okay, next we have resolutions amended to clarify vacation hours for new hires hired after April 18, 2023. Resolution 25-592. You want to read that, Chris?
Whereas the Personnel Committee has recommended clarification in the current personnel policy dealing with vacation leave. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Churchill, Tennessee, that the following is hereby approved. It is recommended for clarification purposes that the first 40 hours of accrual vacation shall be carried over to the 2nd year of service and shall be used by employees' 2nd anniversary date of hire. The following employees' vacation times will be credited as follows. Justin Green, 40 hours to be taken by 6/21/2005. Braden Hammonds, 40 hours to be taken by 6/1/2026. Rafael Magdaleno, 40 hours to be taken by 8/15/2025. Nancy Ramsey, 40 hours to be taken by 6/21/2025. Michael Yates, 32 hours to be taken by 6/21/2025. Jeffrey Sugar, 43 hours to be taken by 4/24/2025. Robert Moore, 40 hours to be taken by 8/26/2026. And Trevor Perry, 40 hours to be taken by 4/28/2025. This resolution will take effect immediately upon passage, the welfare requiring it.
We have a motion for resolution 25-592.
Move we adopt.
We have a motion, have a second.
Second.
Discussion. Call roll, please.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Bud Tipton,
Yes.
Michael Walker,
Yes.
Dennis Still.
So all this is cleared up, correct? Hours,
Yes, this was all necessary because of some vague language in our vacation policy, and I think this straightens it out. Michael, thank you for calling that to our attention. I added a phrase and subsequent years to hopefully clear that up in the third, fourth, and fifth years.
I really appreciate our personnel committee, not including myself, but the men and Chris and Kimberly's help on this and getting that clear the other day. I think it went very well and good meeting doing that. So, and I know our employees are going to appreciate our clarity on it as well. So.
Well, thank you for pointing that out, and I think we did make it clear.
next we have, Mr. Bill Killen here, wants to address the board. Bill, if you come up, or you can, if you want to, whatever you want to do.
I put all my remarks in one sheet. That way I have a document of what I've said. Mayor Deal, members of the Churchill Aldermen and Alderwoman, thank you for this opportunity to speak to you this evening on the matter of emergency medical services and the fact that Hawkins County wants to double tax the citizens of Churchill and other municipalities for emergency medical service. February 27th, I emailed a copy of the 2019 EMS Exploratory Committee's report to Mayor Deal, and in that report, I highlighted a couple of key points for reference. It highlighted the summary of the recommendation in that report. I held certification as an emergency medical technician in 3 states in the National Registry. As fire chief of the Metropolitan Washington Airports, I implemented paramedic service at Reagan National and Dulles International Airports. As the director of Navy Fire and Emergency Services, I negotiated the transfer of emergency medical service and ambulance service from the Bureau of Medicine and the Department of Navy to the Navy Fire and Emergency Services worldwide. I did that because our military personnel are usually assigned a year and a half to 2 years in naval installation, and they transfer somewhere else. By the time they learned the routes and travel distances of the buildings at a naval installation, they were transferred out, and you generally would always see ambulances showing up after the event was over. And once we transferred it into the fire service, we had a major improvement in that fire service. I was one of 2 Churchill residents who served on the Hawkins County EMS Exploratory Committee in 2016 and in 2019. The EMS Exploratory Committee recommended the county to end the franchise requirement and enter into a joint venture with Hawkins County Emergency Medical Services. That way, the county commission could underwrite the cost of more staff and ambulances. This recommendation of the joint venture was based on the Washington County and Johnson City joint venture for EMS services, which has been very successful. Committee Chairman Dr. Blaine Jones, in a TV interview on WJHL, said, probably to get a better response time, we need about 9 ambulances available 24 hours a day. He went on to say, obviously, Hawkins County can't afford that, Jones said, so we settled on 6. And we're still stressed at 6 because we don't have the funds to keep the one open at the Savoynesville. As of today, as of this very moment, neither Mayor Jim Lee nor Mayor DeWitt and the Hawkins County Commission took any action on the 2019 EMS Committee's recommendation other than renewing the franchise for the Hawkins County EMS agency, which, by the way, was for 5 ambulances. I went through every county commission meeting minutes from 2019, October 2019, through last month. Not one time was EMS recommendations mentioned. There was no reports from the Public Safety Committee with any recommendation to do that. Whenever you see an EMS unit staged at Hope Church on 11W, that's to let you know there are no ambulances available in Hawkins County. What does that mean? 509 square miles with 1 unit sitting at Hope Church, hoping that nobody needs an ambulance. I and my wife have had ambulance services twice from Hawkins County EMS, a great service, but it's underfunded. Since then, Mayor DeWitt, in 2023, the Times News headline read, Hawkins County plans to contact municipalities about partnering a proposed Hawkins County EMS joint venture. That's not what we recommended from the committee. Since then, Mayor DeWitt has proffered the idea and concept of Hawkins County municipalities of putting the bill for ambulance service. DeWitt's proposal is unfair to residents residing in municipalities and does not meet the intent of the EMS Exploratory Committee's recommendation. It is unfortunate that Mayor DeWitt, in my opinion, lacks the intellectual capability and intestinal fortitude to present the EMS Committee's recommendations to the full County Commission for adoption. I believe the City of Churchill has provided free of charge to Hawkins County EMS since 2016 the use of Station 2 as an ambulance station.
That's true.
Without charging them for it. It is my recommendation and request that the City of Churchill reject Mayor DeWitt's proposal to partner for an ambulance. Thank you for allowing me to express my concern to each of you on this matter. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Y'all have any?
Are they, somebody told me there's a meeting getting ready to come up about this? Is that?
Yeah, I just got an email about it today. I just glanced at it though. I didn't look at it real hard.
Is there a county meeting about it or what?
They wanted a representative from each city to come to this meeting. It didn't say much about what it was about. It was about this joint venture, but
it's about this right here, about
yeah.
them wanting the cities to start kicking in. Just example what Bill just said about double tax.
Yeah.
They want us, our county taxes is paying for it. Now they want our city taxes to help pay for it. It's what they're wanting.
So what have they done? Eliminate the privatized EMS? I know, when Churchill EMS was here, it was a privately owned EMS, correct?
I don't, what I think may not be correct, but Churchill EMS was started by Churchill Rescue Squad years ago,
Yeah,
and evolved
that I
into
do
a
know.
separate unit.
Right.
I believe, I'm not sure how they were incorporated.
I think it was privately owned.
It was privately owned, and it was a business, a for-profit business at the end.
Yeah.
But at first it started as a nonprofit.
They had a board of directors, and I believe that Mark Sandage and Mark Johnson served on that board.
They did.
It's a very sad situation. The sole purpose of government is to provide to the public those things that the public cannot provide for themselves. That's law enforcement. It's public education. It's fire protection. It's EMS. And I'm sorry, folks. I completed 69 years in the fire service March 7th, and I've never seen such poor provision of support financially by this county to the 8 volunteer fire departments. The average age of the firefighting fleet in this county is between 25 and 30 years. It's a sad situation.
Is that email you got today, can you go look at it and tell us exactly what it says, please?
It sounds like to me they're wanting they're wanting funding from each municipality inside Hawkins County to also contribute from our taxes, from the city's tax-paid dollars, is what you're saying.
That's exactly what they
And
want.
then, and also similarly to how we pay property tax for city and county, we'd also be paying, you know, our tax dollars, for instance, would be going to pay for the EMS services as well and help fund those, is what it's looking like, or what they're proposing potentially.
A lot of the EMS, from my time on commission, they were wanting the county to take him over retirement. Because you mentioned Washington County and somebody I know
Johnson City.
Johnson City. I know my nephew works in Washington County. They took him over. He pays the intensity consolidated, from my understanding. Now, the others, what they're in Hawkins County, they do not provide a retirement. And that's what, bottom line, I think that's one of the things they're looking for. They want to be part of the county so they can get on the county retirement system.
The turnover in Hawkins County EMS is high. The recommendation from the committee was, in conjunction, establish a joint venture between Hawkins County EMS and Hawkins County government. That would allow the employees to move to the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement Plan. The county would commit to an increased funding to the EMS. They would provide cash flow support to EMS, and the county would be represented on the joint venture board. The first EMS exploratory committee in 2016, the county ignored it. In 2019, they reconstituted the committee, and that committee did a much deeper study. Dr. Jones spent hours looking at records in the dispatch center and had a chart that showed how many times we had no ambulance service available. And the best option for the county would be for the county to enter into that joint venture instead of doing a halfway job of trying to get the municipalities to help fund it. That's double taxing 35% of the population of this county. Now, I pay my city taxes. I don't complain because I get city services. I pay county taxes because I get some services. And I'm not complaining about that. But I don't think our city should enter into an arrangement with Hawkins County just because Mayor DeWitt doesn't have the guts to go to the county commission and say, we have to bite the bullet and fix this.
What service you get from the county?
Sheriff Lawson, I can say I do get EMS service because they call.
Well, if it wasn't for us to house them at our fire station number 2 in 2016, did you say?
Yes, sir.
They wouldn't be here. Because at that time, they could not afford a location.
Well,
Now, I will say in their defense, for a long time, we paid the light bill and all that. We did come to agreement that they share half the electricity now.
No, they pay all the utilities, $1 rent per month, and half of any maintenance on the building.
Oh, okay.
you know what that's called? That's called a sweetheart deal.
But we done that in order to keep them here, Bill, so they wouldn't be in Roswell and a citizen need them here. That's why we done it.
After I bought the Churchill EMS buildings, they came to me and wanted to rent the former EMS response station. And they wanted me to let them have it for $500 a month. That wouldn't have paid the mortgage payment. But it's a tough situation, and the county just doesn't have the leadership to bite the bullet and fix the problem.
What will the joint venture be as opposed to partnering with the municipality? Do you have any heads up on what that even looks like?
Yes, sir. It would be that the county and the EMS would enter into a joint venture, and they would basically be a quasi-county employee, would make them eligible for the retirement system.
Okay, so they are not, they're independent at this point.
That's
They're the
it.
same as what Churchill was at one point. They're an
Yes.
independent organization, for profit.
I'm not sure how they're incorporated, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Once they
So they are also an independent EMS
Yes.
company. I know at one point, when you bought the building, you and I had an extensive discussion about what it would take to get another EMS company in here, and if I remember right, that's been 9 years ago though, but I think we both made some phone calls to several other private EMS companies, and it was almost like none of them seemed to have interest in it at that point, the ones I spoke to anyway, and coming to Churchill or Mount Carmel area or any of that, I don't think. So, I don't know if that's even an option anymore or not, you know.
Well, EMS is expensive. Ambulances, basic ambulances are $300,000 to $350,000 just for a basic unit before you equip it. Fire equipment today, pumpers, you pumpers on a commercial chassis, you're looking on a very cheap $500,000. You cannot buy a ladder truck for less than $1.5 million today. And it takes 2 to 3 years to get one delivered by the time they come out. Salaries. It's not cheap, and you get what you pay for.
So are they gonna ask the county to do what they're asking municipalities or no? With this thing he's wanting? In other words, is the county gonna step up, not in the municipality, and pay more for EMS protection or not?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
And here's the thing that concerns me, even though we've got a fire station too. If they ask the city taxpayers to ante up more money, they still not a guarantee that who, God forbid, needs them, they're gonna get them. Right or wrong?
That's right.
So you're paying for what if.
Let me tell you something.
Or tell me if I'm wrong,
I don't know, do you recall our conversation in the Food City? Where
We had more than one bill, I don't know.
we had a conversation in Food City, and I said to the time County Commissioner Gibson that the Hawkins County Commission made a decision for me and all of the county when they ignored the recommendations of their EMS Exploratory Committee and awarded a franchise to an agency to provide 5 staffed ambulances when the recommendation was 6 because you needed 9. You and your cohorts made a decision for us, and I said that if I was to lose a family member for lack of an ambulance, I'm going to not only sue Hawkins County, I will sue every member of the commission who voted to ignore the recommendations. The county appointed a committee of experts and ignored what they had to say twice. Then made a decision to award a franchise knowing full well that it didn't meet the requirements. And if I was to lose a family member because of the lack of an ambulance, I'm going to hire one of Raines' compatriots and we're going to sue the county and every commissioner that voted for that.
How many square miles is there in Hawkins County?
About 509, I think, or 506, I'm not sure.
And y'all recommended 9 ambulances.
Dr. Jones, I sat right behind him on October 29th, 2019, when the county commissioner, some of them had that deer in the headlight look, and he said, you need 9 ambulances to protect this county. And I could hear him say, I know you can't afford 9, but you've got to provide 6. And to this day, they've never addressed those 2 reports.
Who said you can't afford 9, but you got 6?
I'm quoting Blaine Jones. He said, you need 9. We know you can't afford 9, but you've got to provide 6. And they didn't provide 6. If you see an ambulance sitting at Hope Church, that's the only unit in service in Hawkins County.
Why do they do that? Just because it's sort of central between everything?
When you get enough ambulance calls and you've got them tied up at the hospitals and you're down to 1, they send it to Hope Church to sit there so they can respond to anywhere in the county. And there's a lot of calls that go over to Sullivan County for support.
Really?
And this is not the only county. Unicoi County is having a terrible time with their EMS right now. They lost all of their ambulances in the flood. I think we got 3. America's First Responders Foundation got ambulances for Unicoi County. And the problem in Unicoi County is 51% of Unicoi County is United States parkland.
How many square miles is Sullivan County? If you don't know,
I don't know that. They have a very good EMS system in Southern County.
that's the reason I asked that.
Bill, I made a recommendation to them or a suggestion, but it fell on deaf ears, talking about the funding part of it. I said, well, put it on the ballot as a referendum and let the the county residents vote on this, if they want to fund that or not. But it fell on deaf ears. I think that would be a good way to go if the residents would vote to do it. I think the county commission would be more open to do that.
I'm pretty sure though, the county is also, in the last couple of years, is buying ambulances for them. I know the last 2 years, I believe the county tax dollars have bought ambulances.
That's right.
It's been more than the last 2 years, because when I was on it, we did about one or two,
Right.
refurbished one maybe and bought one. I'm not sure exactly, but I think there's at least two that they did, and maybe since then I don't know.
Sullivan County runs several calls down here in our area when there's no one available.
When you all done your study, who'd you say the gentleman was?
Dr. Blaine Jones was the chairman. Rick Mahalik, who lives down on the river, close to the public.
What was your time? Did y'all even get in that time frame? In other words, we got a time frame our fire gets in certain places. Was that ever discussed in those meetings?
Like response time?
Yeah.
How long
Yeah,
it
they
takes?
looked at response time. I think, I'm not positive, I think there's a chart in the back of that report that I forwarded to you. Let me look here. They had a projected joint venture expenses sheet in that report, projected equipment needs. I guess the response time information was something that Dr. Jones had put together, and I don't have that with me.
Could you send that to me again if you don't care?
I don't mind at all.
Bill, now they're running supervisor, one person vehicle, supposedly rapid response. Is that included in your numbers, or is that separate?
I believe that's separate from the 5 ambulances that are staffed.
Okay.
And they're running that supervisor because they don't have that 6th ambulance.
It's just a one-man vehicle and basic equipment, I'm assuming.
Yes.
The 5th ambulance is only during the day. They call it a power truck or something like that. Then basically during those times after their hours, you've got an ambulance in Rogersville, one in Morrisburg, one in Churchill, one in Mount Carmel. That's all the coverage we have.
So if we didn't house them at our fire station number 2, we would have it in Churchill.
No. I mean, all it takes is one good crash here in 11W. Everyone here has seen them over the years. And we can tie up 2 or 3 ambulances. So you think about that. What if one of us that are at home has a heart attack, stroke, whatever it may be? That leaves us bare covered. We don't have nothing. We would have to depend on either a first response from local fire department to go out, or we would have to depend on another ambulance coming out of Sullivan County to get down here to 211.
Or a flight coming in,
Yes.
something like that. That's had to happen before, from what I
I mean,
understand.
we
The
don't
good
have-
thing we've done
We got
as a
mid-flight
city
all the
council
time in the county.
is we furnish for employees, right?
Yes.
The flight, that insurance. That's a huge number too.
Yes. Through the Firemen's Association, they set that up so that people in the fire department should get that, and my wife and I have that coverage.
And we as a BMA, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Bill. We as a BMA, we asked the people to furnish this insurance. So BMA can pay for that. I think it's what, $100 a year?
79, 89.
It's about $75 a
Yeah,
year.
and if y'all, of course, we have to pay for it as a BMA, but if y'all would be interested in doing that. And even if you had, your children, I dare to say, even a citizen could get into it.
They joined the Hoffman County Fire, but in the county fire departments, they'd be eligible for it. One of the things that's taking place, Twins Valley Fire Department, as you know, is up close to Twin School, and there is no ambulance service up there. And the Twins Fire Department personnel, some of them have been trained as emergency medical responders, and they're trying to locate a vehicle. I was able to get them a Stokes basket and a couple of backboards this past week, and they're providing emergency medical response from the fire department. I believe some of the other fire departments are trying to get their people certified to be able to do that. Fire-based EMS is a big thing all across this country. In the community where I started 69 years ago, we run ambulances 69 years ago. Today they run paramedic ambulances, and these are volunteers. And in the county funds a chase vehicle, like we were talking about, Chief, for initial response to heart attacks and other events. Tennessee is a great place to live. I've been here over 20 years. I love it. I'm close to where I was born. But boy, I'm telling you, they sure have some dummies making decisions when it comes to public safety.
Like a church with
Leaves a lot to be desired.
It is.
And I'm not going to tell you what I told Brother Tipton a while ago about some of our elected officials. He can tell you when after the meeting if he wants to. But, I appreciate the time, Mayor Neal and members of the council.
We appreciate your
I'll get back with you on this too.
And I'll get you some information on that. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Bill.
We'll Bill, thank you, gentlemen, there. Ladder truck, for our ladder truck.
Yeah, Bill got us a ladder truck, so we appreciate that, Dave. When are we gonna get it?
We're waiting on the paperwork. I talked to them 2 weeks ago. I think their board meeting's tonight. They had to declare it, and their attorney's supposed to be drawing up the paperwork. And I think they told me they'd be in touch the end of this week, first of next. We'll have it shipped in.
Does anybody get anything else?
Bill?
Yes.
I think everyone's aware of the impact Hurricane Helene had on several counties on the North Carolina border. America's First Responders Foundation, that I've worked with for the past 20 years, facilitated the delivery and donation of more than 24 vehicles for fire and ambulance service, including the ones coming here to Church Hill. On April 26th and 27th, America's First Responders Foundation is conducting a symposium and workshop at Milligan University. Primary audience for that are the fire and emergency services people, law enforcement, and elected officials from those counties who were impacted by the flood. And the focus is going to be on planning and future, and there'll be workshops on lessons learned. What did we do and what we didn't do? And one of the problems was there was a flood of vehicles donated into East Tennessee and in North Carolina that didn't come through America's First Responders Foundation. Goshen Valley went up to, sent 4 people up to Maryland and picked up a rental truck full of equipment donated by Anne Arundel County and Howard County Fire Departments and delivered it to Churchill, where some of it was delivered to other fire departments. The rest of it was taken to Mountain City. The fire department then had their fire stations washed away and fire trucks floated down the river. Had all kinds of vehicles donated, but the Amish people, or it's either Amish or Mennonites, come in and built 2 fire stations for us. So there's a lot of problems, and I've made about a dozen trips behind the barricades in the flood zone. The damage is terrible. There's enough firewood down over there to provide firewood for the next 20 years. And there's a lot, you saw all the stuff about people living in tents over in Asheville in that area. It was terrible in Unicoi County and in Corner County. And so you will be receiving, the chief will be receiving information about the workshop April 26th and 27th.
April 26th, 27th?
Yes, sir.
And that's gonna be held at Milligan.
Milligan University.
You gonna be attending?
I'm responsible for some of the paperwork.
Anybody got anything else? If not, entertain motion to adjourn. So moved. Second. All in favor say aye. Aye.